So Ro, good morning to you. But she wasn't dreading waking up. She was looking forward to her work on a Monday morning, but she may be a rarity.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's a common thing, isn't it? The sort of Monday morning blues. But apparently, a growing number of young people say they take the stress out of the first day of the week by doing a bare minimum Monday.
They slack. They just take...
I mean, I don't know if they'd say slack. They just like to ease themselves into the week. Okay. Apparently, it helps employees worry less.
Well, some experts
prioritise.
say that, yeah, this helps you in the workplace. Let's go to Ruth Tongue. Ruth's a very interesting person. Ruth is director of Elevate. Now, what is Elevate, Ruth?
So we are an employee wellbeing organisation, so we help companies to support their employees in their mental health, their physical wellbeing, their financial, their social wellbeing, all of the elements that make up an individual's wellbeing. We help organisations to support their employees.
Lovely. So does that mean you would be in favour of a bit of slacking on a Monday?
Absolutely. In a certain instance. So for some people, that's going to be brilliant. So if you are someone who struggles with anxiety, feelings of overwhelm, particularly if you've had a really hectic weekend, you haven't really had much downtime. You know, we've all experienced the Sunday scaries before. And for those sorts of people, having a slower start to a Monday, being able to cancel some of those meetings, you know, perhaps have a shorter to-do list, that's really going to help them to reduce feelings of anxiety.
Right.
But for others, so...
I mean, really, if they've had a really hectic weekend, presumably people should start prioritising work and not pack every inch of their weekend so that they can start the week in a professional manner.
Yeah, I agree. So we do need to look at what we're doing over our weekends to ensure that we do have that rest and relaxation, so we're not getting Sunday night feeling massively overwhelmed. So having some time out, having some time to rest and recover. But unfortunately, for lots of people, you know, if they've only got a Tuesday weekend, that's the chance to catch up with their friends, to get their admin done, to get all of their life chores and admin completed. So perhaps it's another argument for that 4-day week that we're hearing more about now.
Okay, that's quite interesting. But I'll put this to you, Ruth. If you get ready and you take it a bit easy on a Monday, does Monday then not become the dread day that you're then dreading Tuesday?
Potentially, yes. I mean, I think what we're saying here is that, you know, for some people, potentially those people who are more introverted, having to jump into a big team call first thing on the Monday morning is going to add to that stress. So we're not saying don't do anything on a Monday, stay in your pajamas. It's more about having that autonomy. And we know that organisations, really successful organisations, are the ones who give their employees more autonomy, so more control over their working practices, where they're working, when they're working. And being able to do that, we know, results in people who have better mental well-being, they're more productive, and essentially they're happier. And surely as employers, that's what we're wanting.
You see, you use the E word there, employers. Who would be an employer nowadays? Oh, like we'll do 4 days a week for you, and we don't want to do Mondays. We don't want to work too hard on Monday. I mean, we're all like this at school, Ruth. We all used to hate Sunday nights because Monday was a school day, and we dreaded that. I mean, but we all got through it, did we not?
Toughen up.
Yes, it's true, but I think now that, you know, there's a lot more choice. We're seeing there's a real issue with attracting and retaining staff. So we do need to look at what employees are asking for. And, you know, we're trying to create cultures where people feel excited about work, they feel supported, they feel listened to. So if we're ignoring what people are asking for as employers, we're going to be in real trouble.
It's interesting. I mean, the government talk a lot at the moment about how we have a huge problem with productivity in this country. And in fact, I think we're the least productive, aren't we, out of the G7 at the moment? This doesn't give us a good rep, and it certainly doesn't give the younger generation a good rep. And people will be looking at this and laughing.
Potentially, but I think that we need to look at what does make people productive. And as I've just mentioned, we know that it's people who feel valued, who feel trusted. For example, we saw during COVID that everyone worked from home and employees were really worried about this. They thought productivity levels were going to plummet, and actually the opposite happened. So people can be trusted, and people must be trusted to have more control over their working practices if we want to increase productivity.
But I think, Ruth, listening to you and the fact that, you know, companies like yours are there and there is a demand for people like you, it strikes me then that whether a lot of people agree or disagree or like it or don't like it, change is a coming.
Absolutely. We need to move with the times. We need to listen to people and what they want and what they need. And life is stressful, so we've got to not underestimate the impact that things like the cost of living crisis having on people's stress levels. And as employers, we really need to support them with that.
But you see, I know the cost of living crisis, but you see, I would be saying, if you're walking away from work, if you're doing less work, if you're earning less, how do people deal with the cost of living crisis without? I would have thought
The
the
stress
answer to
gets
that.
worse if you start slacking.
Yeah, I thought the answer to that would be work harder, earn more, particularly if you're self-employed, because, you know, self-employed people often don't have that luxury of coming in and making demands.
This is true, but we also need to realise that the work harder, be more productive ethos doesn't necessarily work. So often less is more when it comes to productivity.
Yeah. So Ruth, let me ask you, are you happy? It's Monday today. You've started, we've got you up very early out of bed, 6:30 now in the morning. Are you looking forward to the day ahead?
I really am, yeah. I'm very excited to be talking to you. I jumped out of bed this morning. But no, I'm really looking forward to going to have a meeting in person, which we haven't had for years. I'm super excited to catch up with my team, get motivated, write my to-do list. And I see Mondays as a new, fresh start. So, yeah,
good.
I'm loving it.
That's the new gospel, Ruth. Thank you very much. Lovely talking
Loads of
to you.
emails on this.
Lovely. That's Ruth Tongue. Ruth is director of a company
Lovely to
called Elevate. Thank you. We'll say
And
goodbye.
our inbox is alight. So many messages coming.